Hello and welcome to Business Daily here on Trust TV, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Let's start you off with top stories in the world of business. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on Business Daily here on Trust Television. Now let's go and see what took place on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on yesterday, Tuesday, 26 September 2023. Now, as you can see, our all-share index closed today at 66,652.17 basis points, losing 0.34%. Now, it means that it's been a downward turn actually in the last few days. From Thursday actually, we're going down, and it closed on a bearish note as we lost that 4 straight sessions from Thursday, Friday, Monday, and now Tuesday. 4 straight sessions of a bearish note. Now the all-share index dropped at 0.34%. The market cap too dropped at 0.34% from 36.605 trillion naira to close at 36.47 trillion naira. Now, a volume of shares that was traded were 364 million units of shares valued at 4.5 billion naira, and it was in deals of 7,018. Now, what does this mean? It means that there's been a real downward trend. The deals, the volume of shares traded was lower. The value was lower from that of yesterday, that of a Monday actually. That same thing for volume, same thing for value, same thing for deals. There's been actually a real downward trend across board. Now let's move to our gainers table. Leading our gainers table, we have Cornerstone Insurance leading the table with closing the day at 1 naira 65 kobo at 10% increment. We have Chip PLC closing the day at 1 naira 10 kobo and equally 10% increment. That is going to be Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. That's what that is. Then we have the UPD Credit closing at 3 naira 90 kobo, closing the day at 9.86%. What do we have on our red table? On our red table, that's the losers table. We're going to be seeing that we have corn oil closing at 18 naira 20 kobo at 9.99%. It went down at 9.99%. We have the Cocoa Company equally closing at 1 naira 72 kobo at 9.95%. And we have Owando PLC there too at closing at 9 naira 65 kobo, closing the day at 9.81%. As we can see on our losers table, we have oil and gas, and on our gainers table, we had the insurance company. Now, how will that affect our sectors? When we get there, we will see. But let's look at our top trades for yesterday. Access Holdings had 784.9 million shares. That was the volume of shares traded of Access Holdings. Transcorp International as well, coming in second place at 291 million shares. And we have United Bank for Africa, UBA, at 787 million shares traded on the floor of the exchange on Tuesday. Now, how do all this affect our sectors? Let's go and see these sectors. NGX Banking, although we had a lot of trading in the banking sector with Access and even UBA, it didn't seem to make the outcome of the NGX Banking on a positive trend. However, it went down at minus 1.40%. The NGX Industrial too had a negative turnout at minus 1.40%. NGX Consumer Goods went up at 0.16%. Have NGX Oil and Gas minus 1.24%, and have NGX Insurance at plus 2.18%. We could say that maybe them being on the gainers table probably helped their outcome and helped the sector of the insurance sector to actually go up. Now, what's happening on the African continent? It's all red. It's a red affair. On Monday was a green affair, but it seems Tuesday ended on a very red note, with Johannesburg losing about 746.68 basis points to close the day at 72.652.10, losing minus 102%. In Ghana too, it appeared at about minus 0.01%, losing about 0.47 points to close the day at 3,166.04 basis points. Than that. Now, in the NSC, we could see that over time it had been going down, and then it came up on Monday, but it's maintained that 96.73 it had over a while, but it went down at 0.1%, closing at 96.63 as a downward trend. So that's the much we have for you on Stock Exchange and Stock Market Report this morning. Do stay with us. When we come back, we have quite a number of conversations to look into. Strike and the new appointment and confirmation of the new CBN governor. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on Business Daily, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital, on Trust Television. Now, before we went on the break, I told you we're going to have a few conversations. I want to start off with the confirmation of our new CBN governor by the Senate. Olayemi Cardoso has been confirmed yesterday, Tuesday, by the Senate, and of course his deputies alongside with him. Now, as that happened, the dollar closed on the parallel market at 8,000 naira. Now, with me in the studio to unpack our various conversations is Mr. Jide Ojo. He is a policy, he's just an order. But thank you so much, sir, for joining us in the studio this morning.
It's a pleasure, Chairmaka.
Okay, sir. So,
happy Eid al-Maulud to our Muslim.
Yes, happy Eid al-Maulud. What do you make of, first of all, what do you think, what should we expect from our new confirmed and CBN governor and his deputies?
So, congratulations are in order for Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, former commissioner in Lagos State, and when you do very well, your boss will recommend you anywhere. One thing that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has for him is that if you served him faithfully, he does not forget your labor of love. He compensates you. You see.
Okay, so I'm going to just pause you there. So the question I'm going to ask, which of course when you answer your answer is it a case of people who have served faithfully or people who can do the job?
So people who have served faithfully and are found competent on the job. Remember, he was a commissioner in Lagos between 1999 and 2007. And among those, the Asiwaju has brought forward to the national limelight is Cardoso. Then Yemi Osinbajo, who was then his Attorney General and Minister of Justice, and Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, and of course Wale Edun, who is now the Minister of Finance. So these few agents, technocrats, have been found to be very competent. So it is believed that they will assist the president to drive a very successful economic reform at the national level. But my own take as to what Cardoso and his team needs to do is just about what Senator Adams Oshiomhole said, as what he looks forward to. I think Cardoso and his team should not work to please the Bretton Woods institutions, that's the IMF and the World Bank of this world, or the AFDB, or any of those multinationals.
But why wouldn't he, since we're owing them a lot as it is, and we will still go back to collect some more?
Now, this is the point. You cannot please these people and please your people. Because, as you have pointed out while you are doing a recap of our stock exchange, Naira is dancing yo-yo, closing at 1,000 to $1 a day. And these are the Bretton Woods institutions since 1986. They have told us that our currency is overvalued. We should devalue our currency. Now we devalue the currency. Today, our Naira is almost like a Zimbabwean dollar that doesn't have value again. I think we need to look at homegrown situation. Like Oshiomhole said, the fiscal and monetary policy have to, meet at some point. Okay. Then you cannot remove the government hand in trying to moderate the exchange rate. Okay. Emefiele sold the dummy to Ashwaju that let's float the naira.
Okay.
We floated the naira. We have seen where the floating of the naira has led us.
Okay.
We wanted the laws of demand and supply to determine the value of our currency.
Okay.
But now we've gone to borrow $3 billion from Afrexim Bank to strengthen, and it has not yielded. So I think, like Adam Soshomole said, we need visible hand of government in moderating and stabilizing things, because right now inflation is at double digits. How many industrialists can go and borrow money at 25%, 30% interest rate to fund their operations and have profit at the end of the day?
This is quite a very large topic, and we can't even get into it fully because we have something else to talk about. Now, the NLC and the TUC have declared indefinite strike to start on the 3rd of October. Let's look at this report, and when we come back, we will get into the discuss.
Our people united can never be defeated. Our people united can never be defeated. Our people united can never be defeated. Great Nigerian workers. Great Nigerian workers.
Speaking to journalists in the press briefing, the NLC president, Comrade Joe Ajero, said the proposed has become imperative following the continuous failure of government to address issues raised by labor, especially following the hardship being faced by Nigerian workers due to the removal of fuel subsidy.
And the subsequent successful 2 days nationwide strike of the 5th and 6th of September and other meetings that were supposed to demonstrate the preparedness of the Nigerian workers to push through their decision to embark on an indefinite nationwide strike if their demands were not met.
His TUC counterpart, Festus Osifu, said as part of the Independence Day celebration, councils resolved to direct all workers to organize rallies and peaceful protest to draw the attention of government on the need to do the needful.
Of the Independence Day celebration, and to demonstrate our resolve for a truly independent Nigeria to take our destinies in our own hands and rescue our nation. 2, to embark on an indefinite and total shutdown of the nation beginning on 0 hours, Tuesday, the 3rd day of October 2023. 3, to direct all workers in Nigeria to withdraw their services from their respective workplaces, commencing from the 3rd of October 2023.
The councils further urged Nigerians to cooperate with unions as the action is meant to better the welfare of Nigerian workers. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, we've seen that report, and just sometime last week when they went on their strike earlier in the, not last week, earlier in the month, we felt the impact because even the power sector decided to show us that they were on strike as well, and there was blackout. Now, what I want is for you to help us understand the effects of strike. I know that all they mean well and they're fighting for the best, but what is the immediate and even long-term effect of industrial actions on the economy?
Thank you, Chamaka. The point is, I just hope Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not allow this to happen. They gave 7 days notice now after the expiration of the 21 days notice. Remember, the first notice of strike was given on 1st of September. Now they have met on the 26th and gave a strike for 3rd of October. So the government needs to activate all industrial dispute resolution mechanism to avert this strike, because even a layman will tell you in a strike situation there's huge loss on productivity. Man hours are lost, revenues are lost, even all manner of social dislocation. Imagine if hospitals are not working, patients are rushed in emergency. No doctor.
No, we saw that. We've seen that happen when
that's what I'm saying. You asked me about the impact of strike. You have seen I lost a sister in 2017
Oh,
as a
apologies.
result of industrial action of the National Association of Resident Doctors
Apologies.
when she was on admission at University College Hospital, Ibadan. And this National Association of Resident Doctors went on 1 week warning strike, and they ejected all patients. And this is somebody that is being monitored 24 hours to stabilize her ahead of the surgery she was supposed to undergo later that month. And she died within days. So I've seen this, and now they are going to shut down the aerospace, the airport. They are going to shut down electricity. It's going to be total. That's why they are saying this is going to be total and indefinite. So it's not a warning strike that you say after 2 days.
Like the last one that just happened.
Look at it. If they shut down oil production, and we are producing now at about 1.4 million barrels per day. If they shut down, look at enormity of the huge revenue loss to government.
We're already losing because we're doing below.
Because of oil theft.
Yes.
Because of oil theft, we are already losing. So if they now formally and once you shut down, to reactivate takes days. Because it's not like an engine that you put on and put off. It's not like a light switch that you just flip. Sometimes it takes days for it after they've called off the strike. So you start having fuel queues, even at this exorbitant rate.
There are already queues, actually.
So all of these are reasons why federal government, and I believe Tinubu, can do everything to avert this. Because he has demonstrated leadership way back in July when they first went on protest. And remember, that time they went on protest to the National Assembly and shut down the National Assembly. The president, even without prior notification, invited the leadership to meet with him at the Aso Rock in the evening of that day. Met with the TUC president, the NLC president, and the Pengasem president. And they have meaningful discussion. As I said in my column in The Punch today, a lot of promises were made to ameliorate the sufferings of the Nigerian masses, particularly the labor and the workforce. But we haven't seen much of that. For instance, the Nigerian Labour Congress is talking of wage award. In 1975, we have what is called Udoji Award. Jerome Udoji then was the person who championed that, and every worker in 1975 will tell you how this wage award bettered their lives. Many of them were able to buy electronic gadgets, some bought vehicles, some bought land and started building because of the wage award. And I don't know why it's taking eternity. Listen, Chiamaka, sorry to land, let me land on this. When the first subsidy was removed on May 29, 2023, the week after, labor unions threatened to go on strike, and the federal government set up tripartite committee. That committee, if you go back and check, they were to meet and resolve all these issues within 8 weeks. 8 weeks is 2 months. This is the 4th month. Tinubu has been in power for close to 120 days. So why can't we resolve this issue in a timeous manner? Many workers are becoming destitute.
I think the question to ask is it even possible to resolve these issues in, as you said, a timeous manner? Does the federal government have what it takes to resolve these issues immediately?
Of course it does. How do you mean? It does. Wage award,
But even when they increased the wage, we saw that the 30,000 naira took a lot of time for some states. Some states still not haven't even implemented it.
Don't get it wrong. The wage award is not minimum wage.
Okay.
Minimum wage will fall due for negotiation next year.
Okay.
And that could take as long as 1 year.
Okay.
Because that one involved the NECA, National Employer Consultative Assembly, the organized private sector, the labor unions, and the government, federal and state. They are the ones that, so it takes a lot of negotiation back and forth. Remember, at some point earlier, some months ago, the labor unions were asking for 200,000 minimum wage.
Yes.
No government will give you that kind of
course,
wage.
that's close
so,
to...
but that is their own asking price. It's
600% increment.
It's like somebody wanted to buy a piece of land, and they said the land is 30 million. And you know that what you have on you is 5 million. You start negotiating, okay, that at the end of the day, you can say, okay, we agreed on 12 million, but I will pay 5 million and spread the rest. But that's negotiation. So workers can ask for 200,000 minimum wage. The issue in point is this negotiation has dragged on for too long.
Yes.
And the issues are very clear. And the president is in the know. Now, the president need to chair the meeting where this issue can be laid to rest. How do I mean? With the moment you start pushing them to go and meet with Simon Lalong, who is the Minister of Labor and Employment, and Nkeduka Oyejocha, they will continue to tell you, we will take your views back to the president.
So are we saying that the middleman approach, it could be a problem in getting this
It is a problem. It's not they could be. It's a problem. See, in a similar scenario some years back, President Muhammadu Buhari had an all-night long meetings with all the laborers union, and overnight they resolved that issue, and strike was averted. The President Tinubu can do same. Even if it's out of the country, he can empower Kashim Shettima to say, okay, tell them this. Okay, on this issue, wage award, we are giving 20,000 or 50,000 for every worker. Some states have done it, where they said, like Imo State said, I'm increasing your salary by 10,000 naira. You understand? Some states have also taken similar. They are talking about CNG buses. I wrote in my column today, the president said he was going to procure 3,000 units of CNG, compressed natural gas buses. Can we have an update? This is a commitment made in July. July 31. Can we have an update as to when the first batch will arrive and be distributed?
It's a case of communication.
It goes beyond communication. Commitment, and with timelines. Commitment. If you say today wage award, we have approved presidential order, approved, every worker gets 20,000 on top of their salary. That's a wage award. That's the issue of minimum wage will be deferred next year. So, and you say this wage award will start being implemented by October ending or by January 2024 because of budget. So that is the commitment and the timeline. Once you are able to reach that, the workers, the labor unions derive no benefit by going on strike, because their own families, their own relations will also be affected. So it's in everybody's interest to strike a win-win solution and avert the threatening and looming strike.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jide Ojo. Time will not permit us to go more and deep into the conversation. And that's the start of our package for you today on Business Daily from Trust Television. I am Chiamaka Nwafor. Before we go, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. See you same time, same place tomorrow. Stay safe and spend wisely.